And then you get the next day. Now, what had happened the night before? Danny got caught, right, with lacy underall. So he spends the night in the Caddyshack, and Maggie comes up.
Oh, I'm in trouble. Yeah, me too. I'm late.
Late for what?
Late for what? For not being pregnant.
Oh, Maggie.
Oof.
Oh, no. Well, that's fine. I'll just marry you. Oh, that's all I need.
That's all I need.
Harsh. So harsh. I want to marry you. No, you don't. They do. Oh, come on. You're just saying that. Look, it might not be yours, okay?
Yeah.
Which, that would be hurtful. But. And then we get...
You're a good egg, Noonan.
She needs you.
Let's pick up that Kleenex.
And just as he's bending down to pick up the Kleenex, the golf concierge or whatever you'd call him comes over looking for him. Judge Smails wants to see you in his office.
Yeah.
And then we get, this is actually one of my favorite non-golf scenes of the entire movie.
Ah.
The judge in the office scene.
Danny, I think you know why you're here, so I'll do us both the courtesy of not reviewing what happened yesterday. Sorry. My niece is the kind of girl that has a certain zest for living. The last thing any of us need right now is a lot of loose talk about her behavior.
I swear I didn't tell anybody anything, sir.
Good. Good.
So he's given him a lecture. And it's the, I still think you can become a gentleman one day if you understand and abide by the rules of decent society.
Yeah.
I've sent boys as young as you to the gas chamber. Didn't want to do it.
Didn't want to. Felt it was my duty.
Felt I owed it to them.
Oh, owed it to them, yeah.
And Smails, Ted Knight, is absolutely chewing scenery here. From the lamp, just the gravitas that he has. And also, I'm a big fan of character acting, facial acting. You think Tom Hardy in like films like Bronson or even Batman, where he's basically doing everything with his eyes and his facial expressions rather than full body acting. And this is like Ted Knight's absolute mastery of the physical comedy of this character.
The most important decision you can make right now is what do you stand for, Danny? Goodness or badness?
I know I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm willing to make up for that. I want to be good.
Good. Good. Very good. You know, I know how hard it is for young people today, and I want to help. Well, just ask my grandson Spaulding. He and I are regular pals.
I want to be good, sir.
Smails is actually, he's the linchpin of this entire movie. I watched a little documentary about this and where they talk about how they increase the role of the gopher in post to weave together a bunch of the scenes in the movie. But I don't even think they really needed that because Smails connects with Ty's character. He connects with Danny's character. He connects with Rodney Dangerfield, right? Like he's got, and Lacey, right? Like he is the piece of this movie that all of those other characters revolve around. And I think in the hands of a clumsy actor, that probably all could have fallen apart. He makes this movie for me. And I think that's one of the things that on this rewatch, I appreciate now more than ever.
Okay.
Are you my pal, Mr. Scholarship winner? How about a Fresca? Have you ever had a Fresca? A Fresca is what? Is it like a ginger ale?
It's like a disgusting soda.
Like a 7-Up or a Sprite?
Something like that. Yeah, it's just a lighter soda.
The bar scene, which this one totally escaped my memory.
As far as the scene that makes me laugh out loud the most, this is it. This is absolutely it.
What is it about this scene?
Don't ever ask a Navy man if he needs another drink, because it's none of the damn business how many I had before. And of course, Smails starts talking and you've had enough.
You're drinking too much, Your Excellency.
I'm a man just like you. My name is Fred. You're not, man. You're a bishop.
For God's sakes.
Yeah. And then there is no God.
There is no God.
That always gets me. Just the way he says it, just there is no God.
And the other thing that I never really noticed here is just like, why does this happen? This is after he got struck by lightning, right? He's having the round of his life. He's a man of the cloth. He feels that God is with him, and then God smites him.
Robbed.
Yeah, on the 18th or whatever hole that was. And so things have changed for the poor bishop. In this bar scene, Rodney Dangerfield then walks in, and Smails goes right over to him. And this is really where they decide on the climactic match. So basically, it's a shoving match. He says, I want you out of this club.
You'll never be a member of this club.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to be a member of this?
This dump.
Dump, yeah.
Yeah.
Dump? Bushwood dump?
So that's dump?
The only reason I'm here is I think I'll buy it. Oh.
Buy a Bushwood? I fucking love Chevy Chase in this as well. Like, when they're having this like choky shoving match, he puts Dr. Beeper in a headlock, or is that the
Bull Nelson and Half Nelson? Half Nelson.
And Rodney Dangerfield drops a very subtle, I get no respect.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's right.
But masterful mediation here from Ty. He says, guys, everybody, there's no need to do this. Let's go to your office. I'll make some drinks. We'll talk about it. I think something that everybody could learn from Ty Webb here in mediating a physical conflict, right?
Very Buddhist.
He called me a baboon. He thinks I'm his wife. Dangerfield. So we'll go out to the green. Maggie realizes that she's not pregnant. And also very randomly, Danny's out there. They're both out in the night, pondering their thoughts, their situations. Maggie saves the day, basically. She's no longer pregnant, or she's not pregnant, not no longer pregnant. She was no longer pregnant. That'd be a very different scene altogether. But she's not pregnant. And they embrace, and we go into the bar scene where Chevy Chase
and
again.
He's feeling slimy about having the scholarship.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. And I know you'll do the right thing. And kind of building up. Then we get to the bar.
This awesome scene where Chevy obviously uses the bar for some physical comedy there.
Rodney Dangerfield had asked him to be his partner. They just put a bet out. It was
20 grand?
$10,000.
Yeah.
And it was just one-on-one. They started laughing. I could beat you with one arm. And then he said, how about 20,000 for partners? You take Dr. Frankenputz, and I have Ty.
Yeah. And Ty is reluctant until he has a little
golf for money.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smails gives him the sleaze. Your father and I built Bushwood. And there are some people that don't belong. This is where you get the slobs versus snobs. And that makes up Chevy's mind. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. Why don't we make it 40,000, he says. Judge.
Great.
My dad never liked you.
That's right.
But this is the first time that Ty has played for money. So this comes in later.
Oh, here we go.
We segue to the classic scene for Caddyshack, which is Carl Spackler making squirrels and rabbits and other woodland friend out of C4.
Out of those things, yeah.
And he's got this maniacal laugh. Or whatever it is. And the gopher sees him and just is terrified.
My enemy is an animal. And in order to conquer him, I have to think like an animal. And whenever possible, to look like one. Who is the gopher's ally? His friend. The harmless squirrel and the friendly rabbit. I'm gonna use you two guys to do my dirty work for me.
And then a ball comes smashing through the windows. And then finally, we get Chevy and Bill Murray, who have never interacted at all.
That's right.
In this whole movie.
And they purposely created that scene here because of that.
These guys were too good on their own, and they didn't have anything written with the two of them together. So they created this little segue where he comes in and, you see a See a Titleist in here. Can I get a ruling on this, Carl? As if Carl would know. And do you know what ball he's playing?
No.
It's a Titleist 6.
Ah.
Which, and it lands in sort of some sort of doughy pizza product of some kind.
What do we got? It's a product of my making.
Carl Spagler Vent, he calls it. It's a mix of
California Sensimilla and Kentucky
Bluegrass.
Kentucky
That's
Bluegrass,
right. That's right.
You can play at 18 and come back and get high as a bejesus belt.
Was it get smoked to the bejesus belt, which I've never heard or used since, but we totally should.
I've used that.
So Carl is researching. He's getting we're studying for his head's greenkeeper. You know, chinch bugs, manganese.
6-year plan. That's my plan at the moment. Yeah. People don't know that. Usually don't know that. Yeah.
The cannonball cupboard. I've used that all the time.
Totally.
Hitting the pipe or hitting the joint or cigarette or whatever, followed by a cognac or a shot of some kind. Cannonball cupboard. And of course, you ever want to rap or anything, buddies for life.
Buddies for life. You want to drop by a line? Yeah. Yeah, you're over there. What is it, Briar? Yeah, 2.
You got a pool over there?
We got a pool, a pond and a pool. Pond be good for you.
Natural spring.
A pool or pond together. All good.
And finally, we get the climactic match. Finally, it's all been building up to this.
Yep.
At a really good pace, this movie is. Not a lot of hang-ups on the way. And we get the climactic final match. And thankfully, they do spend a lot of time on it. We get this awesome entry in the rolls, on the course, with that cervic bag hanging out the back.
That horn.
It's incredible entrance.
Get back there! What do you think you're doing? Get off of here!
Morning, Judge.
This is a golf course. It's not a parking lot. Now you back this thing out of here right now.
Okay. Hey, look at that.
Don't play games with me, Ty. Put that steering wheel over here where it belongs and get this out of here.
I got it, Judge.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Let's play golf.
Don't do it. I didn't do that.
And it's a right-hand drive.
Yeah, crazy.
You get
You
Smails.
put that steering wheel back on the right side and get it out of here.
Hey, look at that. And then he slams his hand in the car door, and this is just like total chaos. You've got all these guys right here. Dangerfield is taking a phone call on his golf phone. Dr. Beeper comes over. He needs to make a phone call. Spaulding and Judge Smails are arguing about something, and Chevy Chase is hopping around the background with like a busted hand. And then Brian Doyle Murray, Lou Loomis, gets everybody's attention finally, and he explains the rules. Gentlemen, we all know that this is illegal and against club practice. And I would like to ask at this time that you agree to waive all sanctions against said referees for anything that might get me fired.
Agreed.
So the match is for $20K ahead. So a pot of $80K, regulation match play, which is good because they explain the rules here. Your Honor, Your Honor. He gives himself a little chuckle. Oh yeah, how many tees?
Odd or even? Odd.
Just one tee.
Your Honor, Your Honor.
And then Dangerfield tries to give him some cash. Keep it fair. Keep it fair.
No, I can't take that.
You just pocket that. But plot twist, Judge Smails makes Danny switch bags. So Danny is now no longer caddying for Chevy Chase.
That's right.
Danny is caddying for Judge Smails. And he gets this buffoonish goon here. Got this grin. Chevy Chase says, "Don't smile at me a lot, okay?" So you get the tee shots, you get Dr. Beeper, you get Chevy, you get Dangerfield, and rumor starts to spread that there's a match for $100K going on. And you get all the people coming out through the trees and through the bushes while Carl Spangler is putting his little C4 buddies in the holes. And we have a little bit of cheating here again.
Yep.
Danny has to turn his back because the judge is doing it.
Another foot wedge.
Yeah. And the gopher steals Dangerfield's ball. You know what he calls him here? Hey, that kangaroo stole my ball.
Kangaroo, that's right.
It really looks like the match is going well for Dr. Beeper and Smails. You get some great bit of comedic acting here with Chevy and Ted Knight. Just a massive beaver pelt right at the end of 9 where they finally go and they'll sit down. So we zoom in on the scorecard here. At the halfway, the match, so 7-2. So they're 5 up. 5 up with 9 to play. That's a ridiculous advantage.
Yeah,
And
I never even noticed it before.
Dangerfield is like, I'm having the worst round of my life.
You're not good.
Selling it like it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The betting. $50 says
Since Smails kid eats it. Or picks his nose. Yeah. And he does.
Yeah. $50 says he eats it. Don't do it, kid. Don't do it, kid.
Oh, no. Must have been hungry. So Smails comes over and he's rubbing that shitty first 9 right in Dangerfield's face. And that gets us back up. And he's like, all right, let's make it 80,000 each.
80,
yeah,
40 each or
40
something.
each. And
Fine.
Dr. Beeper gets a call and Smails won't let him out. Basically, no, you're in for 40 grand now. He's like, oh, it's probably just a routine emergency. Have you ever said this in your chiropractic clinic? Now the gopher is wise to the C4. He comes to investigate. He's onto it. And then Danny tells Ty that the judge has been cheating.
No one likes a tattletale, Danny.
And Dangerfield, and Dangerfield finally gets us out. He slams one into the tree or off the ball washer, back into his arm. My arm, it's broken, it's broken. He's sort of waving it around, which is probably not what you would do with a broken arm, right?
Probably not.
You wouldn't be moving that. Dr. Beeper, though, he comes over. Oh, it's probably a broken ulna.
Yeah, ulna.
Looked like you forfeit, but no. And I don't know how the hell they agree to this, but they let them pick their replacement for Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Sure, they're 5 up with 9 to play, I guess, but they let Danny do it. And Danny has a sort of come to Jesus moment or a realization that he's going to abandon the scholarship and do the right thing here. Judge is not a good person. I guess you don't want
that scholarship.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Repetition is no substitute for wit. And we get another great shot of Danny Newton's swing here. He's no longer in the loafers. He's in a pair of tennis trainers. Maybe that's the secret. But it's actually a really beautiful silhouette of a swing. If you look at the PGA Tour logo, it's a lot more like this than it is like a traditional follow through nowadays.
And the hair.
The hair is great. Oof, yeah.
Suddenly the comeback starts.
The comeback starts, but we don't really see it. In fact, we see a lot of... They're still stressing out here. There's like Ty and Danny have a moment here where I thought you said winning wasn't important. He's like, to me, winning isn't. You do.
You do. Yeah.
Great grammar.
Danny? Or, what does he say from there? I can't remember.
See your future.
Be your future. Yeah.
Make your future.
Yeah. Me.
Not a great pep talk.
Yeah.
Awesome physical acting here by Chevy, collapsing over. But like, again, for a team that's down 5, with as many shitty shots as they seem to be playing, I don't know where this comeback comes from. But we'll get to that. So we get to 18. And Lou Loomis, the caddy master, says that the match is all square. And we see 4 balls within 10 to 15 feet of the hole. Dr. Beeper misses his putt, right? I think the next one to putt is Judge Smails. And this is where you get, this is another one of my favorite scenes, which is Billy Baru.
Billy.
Oh, Billy. Now.
Billy.
Spaulding, this calls for the old Billy Baru. Oh. Billy. Whoa, Billy. This is a biggie. Don't me down, Billy. $30,000, Billy.
He has 2 putters
Yeah.
in his bag, which means that he's either, and also one of them is an amazing putter that always works apparently, which is Billy Baru, which means that he's using his worst putter the majority of the time. This doesn't make any sense. And also he's sacrificing a whole club to carry 2 putters, which is nonsense. But, you know, we get the Billy Baru moment. Oh, Billy, Billy, Billy.
Yep.
And I've done that. Billy, 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 Billy. Do you name your clubs?
I haven't done that.
No? Anyone that have a name?
No.
Nothing special?
No.
Something to think about.
I'll look into it.
And Smails makes the putt. So they're in for birdie, right?
Yep.
Chevy misses his putt outside right. A very disappointed look from Lacey Underall. Now in a sweater, also braless,
Oh,
Very
I
nice.
didn't notice that.
but very disappointed also. And then we get little cuts here and there of Carl wiring up the dynamites, putting the C4 into the holes, getting ready for a climactic final scene. Danny lines up his putt, but before he hits it, Dangerfield goes double or nothing. So double or nothing means what?
Yeah. 80,000 each?
160,000 to the winner. And then we get Judge Smails. Well, go on. Another super memorable classic scene from this film. And Danny looks at the crowd. He reads his putt again. Ty comes over and he says, don't worry about this. If you miss it, we lose. Another great pep talk. So he lines it up and he's short. It's hanging over the lip. They lose. Smails and Dr. Beeper are doing their sort of interlocking arm, wheelie roundy bit thing dance, and the explosions start going off. Oh, pretty good pyrotechnics here, actually, for an 80s movie.
Yeah.
And in fact, the only reason that they were able to do this in terms of the filming, they never allowed the explosions on the golf course. So what they did is they had some sort of big banquet or a wrap party or something for all the people who owned the golf course or who worked there. And they got them all away from the golf course. And then they set up the pyrotechnics. And then they blew the shit out of the golf course when everybody was gone.
So they did it without
They
permission.
did it without permission. So all the trees are blowing up. And Lou Loomis, to his credit, the caddy master, is
Just eyeballing it.
eyeballing it. He's doing his role, watching it, and it goes in. Now, I don't know if this would be legal. What do you think?
Enough
this count?
There's a time limit on how, I don't even know what it is.
I think it's 10 seconds from when you have to approach the ball in a reasonable amount of time. And then you get 10 seconds before you have to
so I
mark
would say it
something
wasn't.
like that.
I guess that's beside the point.
But it goes in and they're victorious.
But how are they victorious?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I've never realized until I rewatched this movie.
At best, they tied.
They're even. Yeah, they're even on 18, 2 birdies. So they're tied. How the fuck did they win?
Yeah.
This entire movie collapses on this. I am heartbroken. Like everything that this movie, the triumphant victory at the end is fake.
Yeah,
It doesn't exist.
I know.
It's
It got
movie
me too.
bullshit. When did you notice this?
Recent.
Yes?
Yeah.
On this most recent rewatch.
Recent.
Fucking hell. All these years we've gone through it. I cannot help but think that if I knew this or if I had been paying attention 10 years ago, whether this movie would still have the, because that's kind of all I can think about now,
Yeah.
is how this climactic ending is not really a real ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we
I
had
know.
no choice but to let it slide.
Yep.
How could they
They're-
rewrite this so that makes sense, though?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's the 80s. There
Yeah.
were a lot of finishes to movies and things that just, if you really dove into, like, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, okay, you just kind of have to let it go.
Yeah. But that is the end of the movie. You get these awesome 80s tropes, like you get the golf clubs launching out of the golf bag in celebration, and the Top Gun moment where the villain and the antagonist and the
That's
protagonist, you again. This is Tony Scott fucking watching Caddyshack.
Yeah.
And
that's Val
basically having
Kilmer
the brainchild
Tom
of Top
Cruise.
Gun. You get the look back, the tip of the cap, And then all the walking, the fun, the finger point. Is that the first time you ever saw it in a movie?
Yeah.
I feel like
don't
this is a
remember.
part of pop culture now because of that.
Yeah, and everybody walks away.
Mm-hmm. Judge, you got to pay up, says Rodney Dangerfield. And he says, I owe you nothing. Hey, Moose, Rocco, help the judge find his wallet. He like tiptoes off. And of course,
Another 80s finish.
hey, everybody, we're going to get laid. And they kick off right back into Kenny Loggins. I'm all right. The Gopher's all right. Everybody's all right. It's a fucking wonderful party, but the movie leaves it right there. And that is exactly how you end an 80s sports film.
That's how you end the classic.
Woo! Brett,
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. We have some categories to get to, but why don't we take like a little 5-minute break?
Let's do it. Let's
We'll
hurry
have
up.
another beer. We'll come back and we'll do categories. Don't go anywhere just yet. Our review of Caddyshack is not over. We had to break it up into multiple pieces. To watch the next one, click right here. To watch a playlist of all of them back to back to back to back, click right here. And don't forget, listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Like and subscribe here on YouTube for more. I hope you're enjoying this video as much as we enjoyed making it.